let's go back a little bit and tell a little bit of a story about myself. And actually, I think it's a good opportunity for us to understand who we are, what our goals are, and the pursuit that we have for our career. I started in Brazil very young, the age of 12 years old, and I just fell in love with the art of tattooing. I saw a tattoo for the first time, and I was fascinated by it. And always being an artist, I was very intrigued about the technique, or how somebody can have that piece of art on their skin and carry it out, which is like fascinating for a child that didn't have much of exposure to that ever. So it was very hard back then. It's been 42 years ago today. And my story, started to where I started researching, anything that I could with books, that's the limitation we had, and actually going out to tattoo studios that now I knew existed. And I found an artist that was the first one that actually, the tattoo that I saw, it was done by the best guy in the country back then. His name is Chaz, and he's still around, good friend of mine. Grateful for everything that he's been through and showing the path, for myself, and being a person that actually showed me a little bit of a way to pursue what I wanted to do. Another artist from Brazil was Caio, and were part of this process of creating the tattoo industry there. At the age of 14 years old, I came to the States as an exchange student and came back and forth just to learn more of the language, and still pursuing the tattoo in Brazil. It's the best of my abilities. Started finding equipment, the lack of, and decided that actually at the age of 16 years old, I decided to come to Florida to actually do an art course over here. And the destiny kind of put me through working by a tattoo studio. And it was this really small motel room on the outside of this town. And actually I stopped by, and I was driving with a friend of mine, my best friend, still in Brazil. It's like, oh my God, there's a tattoo shop there. Just pull up, let's go and buy some equipment. It's no clue. So I walked in there and introduced myself. Oh, I'm a tattoo artist from Brazil, and I would like to buy some equipment. And it was like, get the hell out of my studio, and I don't sell equipment, and you shouldn't be doing this, you're too young, blah, 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 blah. So it was kind of that door kind of closed a little bit. So I decided that I wasn't going to give up. So I actually came back the next day and brought my portfolio. And I say, sir, can you please at least take a look at the portfolio? Take a look at it and see if you can give me any pointers. So he's looking at it, and man, this is pretty good. He's like, can I make a copy of your couple drawings? And that was the best compliment I could ever have. So I said, sure. I left the book there for a couple of days, and I came back there. And I said, man, you really like tattooing? I said, oh, I love it. I've been doing, 12 years old. I dedicated my life to actually start educating myself, and I wanted to pursue it as a career. And so he goes, oh, well, me, you're too young, but I guess if you communicate with your parents that, I might give you an opportunity to kind of take you under my wing and see what they say. So I was excited and called my parents and said, listen, I got this opportunity. This guy it's just decided to kind of maybe show me the ropes for tattooing, and I really feel that I would like to pursue that. So my parents are very open-minded. They were both performers. Both my mom and my dad are singers in Brazil. They're still performing, and so they have that kind of an outlet artistically. So I had that open door from them, that approval from them, which was great. So they say, yeah, if you feel safe and everything else, just go ahead and do it. So I decided to, at 16 years old, that I was going to kind of go under his wings and start learning from him. And I was still living in the university, so I didn't have much money, and the money was running out. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go through. And my friend was still there at the time, so I actually had to go. I was 16 years old, so I didn't have a car, didn't have money to buy a car. So I went to this husband and wife bicycle shop. And I said, I want to rent your bike. And I can only afford like by the week. And so they let me do that. So every week, at the end of the week, I went there. It's like, pay for the week, and pay for the week. And I actually rode 15 miles from the university to the studio every day. So a few months go by, got great legs, just every day riding the bike. So that was really cool. And I decided to actually, you know, get more serious about it, but also still living in a university. My friend now was done with the course, and actually he ran out of money. I kept going back and forth. Now my friend leaves the university, so I was taken under his wings, and he invited me to be at his house with his wife and family, and I was very grateful for that. And the rest is history. I worked for him for 20 years. Now I was able to actually pursue a little bit more, and obviously have to go back and forth because of visas and things like that. So that 20 years was very busy, keeping it, you know, the traveling between going back to Brazil for a time and getting a visa that allowed me to come back. And so the 20 years went by, and I am who I am today because of, you know, Lou Tobias is, you know, a father figure to me. And I will never forget, you know, my path with them. And that's a little bit of that. Yeah, it's just the only thing, if anything, in this industry that I want to really tell people all the time, is that story. Is the story of commitment. Is the story of a conviction that when you love something and you have a passion, you should pursue it, and the obstacles will always be there. Anybody can achieve anything if you put your mind into it. That goes on to as prepared as you might be in educationally or financially or whatever that is. But if you don't have the passion, I guess you haven't found your path yet. And that's very, very important to do that.